It's Alex Coll.
Alex, is it? I tell you what, you could talk to him all day long.
Alex is a nice guy. He's very personable.
He's one of the best.
Big shout out to Alex Coll, another champ.
Alex Coll, making it possible to relax a little bit.
I'm just sitting in the studio trying to get to you.
I love your producer, Alex.
He's phenomenal. I believe in the space god.
A prime time. We got a rising athlete, a local kid, and happy to have him on the column, especially where he is in his career and everything like that. Tague Davis, Westchester, Mr. Malvern Prep Friar, now a Louisville Cardinal, ACC Player of the Year, Golden Spikes finalist, Team USA first baseman, and of course, let me say one more time, a Malvern Prep Friar. What's up, Tague?
What's up, guys? How we doing? Oh my gosh, pumped to be on, man. Pumped to be on, Alex. Let's go.
It, man. It's great. Like when I have, like we had Kevin McGonigal on, we're gonna have Nate Furman on. We have so many local kids succeeding at this level. But wow, what a last 2 years for you at Louisville, and
thank you.
With your dad. It gives people that don't know you a feeling that they do know you because people have known your dad, Ben Davis. So people need to know more about the story of Tague Davis and what you're about to make and just the book that you're about to write, man. From Westchester, are you an East Side Little League kid, like the World Series team right now?
I did give a couple kids lessons when I was working at All-Star Baseball Academy, but I was a Kennett Unionville guy.
Oh, yeah, dude, the Titans. I used to play in Wayport.
Yeah, I was on the Titans. Yeah,
come on, dude. I was a Drexel Raider. Listen, Vince Young was my dude. So those Titan jerseys when we were playing weight ball, dude, that was on radio.
There you go. I was always with the 13-year-olds, man. I was a big chunky kid back in the day.
Listen, I'll get into your football career. Don't worry about that. All right, we'll be touching on that. You're talking to a football guy and a baseball guy. So your family, not even talking about your dad at all right now. Your mom, you said in another podcast, your mom might be where that athleticism comes from. Your sister, I think, what is it, field hockey or soccer that she's going to be going to play?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse. Yeah. Look, 0 for 2 on that, right?
That's so good.
Dude, that's a lot of athletes in the family, and I know you got a little brother who's coming up, but how's that?
You think of competition, and it's you come to D1 school like Louisville, and it's wow. But I've been used to that all my life. I mean, it's unbelievable. You got a mom who played 2 sports in college at Rutgers, and she played soccer and lacrosse there. You got other than pops, you got I'm the oldest of 4, so I got younger sister Finley. She just got down to Furman. She's playing D1 lacrosse down there.
Oh my gosh.
And then next one down is Riley. She just got ranked as I pride myself on a humble guy. Right. I don't like to talk about it, but when it's my family, man, I let it rip.
Dude, you gotta sing the praises, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. She just got recognized as the #1 lacrosse player in the 2027 class.
What?
She's going to Penn State. She's doing big things, man. And she's not even a senior. She's a senior now.
Wow.
And it's just, and she's got a whole other year of lacrosse to play in high school. And then there's my main man, Mickey.
Little bro.
Yeah, he just turned 12. So everything that I learned from Pops, I teach it on to him. So, but yeah, he's the man.
He's got a lot of people, obviously, in the family to look up to. But when you reach a certain level of, of rank as an athlete, it kind of becomes more of a life, and it becomes more of a it's not work, it's not a job necessarily. And I know your dad before has said that to you, hey, when it becomes work or it feels like a job, you're not having fun with it. But when you have so many people in your family that played at such a high level, I mean, the conversations and I maybe. Does it come with less pressure? I
mean, everyone, when people talk about my family, especially back home, they'll come up to me how's that pressure? Your dad, Malvern and playing in the big leagues, and your mother and all your siblings. I'm like, it's really not pressure because they've done that stuff already, and it just shows if they can do it, they're teaching me that I can do it. It simplifies it to the extreme. It doesn't doesn't cause, so much agita in you.
Right.
You're fine. And just, you trust in God and you just let your talents take over. But the one thing they don't stress enough about is, all they talk about is, you got the gifts, but, you got to do something with it. You got to use, your platform to show you how hard you work. And I think that's the biggest thing that, they've instilled in me. Yeah.
No, that's big time. And I know that, like, coming from our area, obviously you're a Westchester guy. Were you born and raised in Westchester?
So now Kevin McDonald, he'll probably diss me on this just a little bit. So I live in Chadds Ford, right? You called me. I have a 610 number.
Right. I saw it. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm considered Delco. I mean, I got the Delco.
I was going to ask you anyway, dude. Like,
yeah, my
that's what you're
mom,
playing.
she's both parents from Aston.
Aston's Delco. Yeah, Aston.
Yeah,
I'll say Aston's Delco. Come on. I got a lot of buddies over there.
But, I got the 6-1 in my phone number. So technically I am, but, roots wise, I definitely got that for sure.
I feel like when you play sports in this area, you're a little bit more kind of roughed up on the edges. You're a little bit more like you played multiple sports. How has that been different when you're at Louisville? Like, and people are going to say, hey, this is the Philly kid, this is the Delco kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a different style of being an athlete?
Yeah, I mean it's a 180, but a total 180, but in a good way. I just feel like, coming from, where we are, 6'10", it builds a type of toughness, I definitely would say. I just remember my, St. Max days. I'd be playing for the parish team, and, we got the Archdiocese, championship at O'Hara, and, winning that, that gives me goosebumps talking about that. You know what I mean? And it's like the same feeling I get, when we went to Omaha. Or, it's just a different experience for, guys like us to, come to a Southern school and, produce. And I feel like a lot of Southern guys don't get that, gritty, toughness thing. But, they do their own things. But, I feel like guys from up here, we represent, no matter where we're at.
Listen, people around you that aren't from the area, like, it's easy for them to see. The last 2 years for you, I'm sure, have been whirlwind of a difference of everything. I mean, College World Series you go to, and then literally one of the best seasons in college baseball that you could possibly have, and then crack the Team USA roster, like, insane experience, and then a home run against Korea. How was life changed for you?
Yeah, I had a conversation with my dad my senior year of high school after we finished. He goes, "Hey, the draft works out, but, you're going to a place that, I trust my own kids with." And, I can't brag enough on, Louisville coaches and, the development they have there. They got, I can't even count on one hand, 2 hands, how many guys are in the big leagues right now from that school. And, the past 2 years have been absolutely nuts, honestly. And, it's such a blessing to be able to, look back on all the experiences that I've gotten. I got to go overseas in Taiwan with Team USA. And, I remember that conversation. I was sitting there. It was midnight. We finished our last, inter-squad scrimmage, cuts and who makes it in Cary, North Carolina. And, we go on in. My roommate and I, we get the same text and go to the team meeting room to go figure out if you got cut or not. We walk in and, everyone who made the team was already in the room. Oh my gosh! It was
a kid that you're like, listen, if he's in the room, I'm on it.
It was absolutely crazy, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, holy crap! The thing with USA for me is, I've been trying out for every single team since I was 12. I think I made every single cut, the final cut. And I've been, I haven't made the team since, I got cut from the 12U, the 15U, the 18U. And, the 18U, the thing that was cool about this whole experience with Team USA is when I got cut from the 18U team, that team went to Taiwan. And 2 years later, I go in trying to make the team for the collegiate national team, and they're going to Taiwan.
Wow.
And it was kind of a full circle moment that, like, maybe stuff doesn't work out in your career, but, it does show down the road. And, I got the experience to play on Team USA just like my dad did. And, I called him, and, I'm a pretty sappy guy. I try to be, all tough on the outside, but, man, I let it go sometimes. So Pops and I had a good happy cry about it. It was one of the cooler moments of my baseball career. But yeah, it's just, there's nothing like it. These past 2 years, man, it's been hectic. It's been awesome. Team
USA, the experience, just the at-bats. You got to break down pitchers that Chinese Taipei, Korea. Like, what do you we saw it with the baseball, World Baseball Classic kind of this year. Vance Worley was on our pod. I had him right on after the Great Britain game. He versed USA, obviously. He struck out Bobby Witt. He got Mike Trout out. And, had a good performance, got to throw against Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. And I'm asking him, like, you're facing guys that are kind of like a few years older than you, but maybe not even having the career success that a guy like you are. And then they're up and playing some of the greatest players in all of baseball. When you go do it from Louisville to the College World Series, which is probably, more suspenseful, and then you go to Team USA, how do you approach the game, approach your competition, and is baseball the same when you're playing it against those type of clubs?
It always is the same game, but the way it's played is just there's
different. Small ball heavy over there.
It's crazy. It's two different worlds. The thing about it was when I went to Taiwan, they're telling me to bunt. I've never bunted since middle school.
220, 35 homers, you're getting the bunt.
They're telling me to bunt. They're telling me, drop one third base, suicide squeeze, like everything, like small ball to a T. And, that's the way they play over there. It's crazy because, when we played Japan, when we played Chinese Taipei and Korea, these guys that are on the mound or, in their 3-hole, they're going 1-1 in that draft, or they're already the best player in their professional league. We're playing against grown men who would do anything for their country to win, and we're trying to match that the same. And it was just a crazy experience. The thing that was crazy to me was, our pitching coach was the Arkansas head pitching coach. We faced Japan, and they had this tall righty. He was about 96, 97, top and 8, and it's just straight over the top.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it coming out different?
It's crazy. And, they all throw the splitters,
wow.
Sharp hooks, and you're up there facing like just different, man. It's something you've never seen. You see a 98 in the United States and you're like, okay, right? You see a 98 from Japan and you're like, oh, that's not 98. It's weird.
That can affect you a lot as a batter because it's a whole different style with the pitch.
Mm-hmm. It's different. But anyways, we get back on the flight from Taiwan and we get, back in the States and, I take my red eye back to Philly and I check my phone and I'm like, I see this Instagram notification. It's Japanese pitcher signed with University of Arkansas. I'm like, oh my, he was doing some recruiting out there. And I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, I want him on my team. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it was unbelievable. The different things you would see, walking around and, we all shared the same hotel between the 4 teams, all normal dudes.
Dude, it's like your kids. It's like, dude.
Oh my gosh. It was crazy. It was like, I feel like it would be a similar experience because, yeah, you're right. Like, we were all kids out there. It would be a similar experience to, like, all the guys bunking up in Williamsport.
Exactly.
It was the coolest experience, baseball-wise that I think I've ever been a part of. The memories that were made there are second to none. The time difference is so cool. I'd be calling my folks back in PA, and it would be 4 a.m. for them, and they watch every game, and it was just an out of this world experience, something I'd never get back again. And I would love to go back again and do the same thing, maybe in a World Baseball Classic one day. But the memories and the relationships that you make, these guys will be in my wedding one day. And it's just it was just the coolest just snippet of baseball that I've been a part of. It was awesome.
It's crazy because in your mind it's going to be more than a snippet. You always be looking back on it, but like they say, your experiences with other people, like that's what makes you guys closer. Like you guys we're all strangers, baseball players, and then you guys wear that jersey, and then you're all brothers. And there's a insane type of closeness that you guys get from an experience in another country playing like that.
100%. Yeah.
Dude, I got to ask you, Tague Davis, the pitcher, what was he like?
The pitcher?
The pitcher. You as a pitcher.
Well, they're trying to get me to do it this year again.
I got to know. I have to know. See, you had it in high school it was you pitched, you were 7-1 with a 1.4 ERA at Malvern with 62 Ks. You obviously threw probably hard as ever.
It was pretty fun. I will say it was pretty fun in high school. I got my name again.
Interac?
It was back in the Interac, man.
Damn.
I got my name on the strikeout list with some pretty good dudes up there. So that was fun. I've thrown probably 11 innings here at Louisville. I mean, it's probably more of a second thought, but it's more of a flip a coin, see if he's in the strike zone or not.
Dude, 100%.
Throw. But it is. I feel like it's just so much fun when you're up there because you know what a hitter thinks about, and you got to throw it to what they can't do. And I feel like that's just the cool part about pitching. I'll probably sit, 3 to 4. I touched a 5 down at USA this year. But, I just got to be more in the strikes. I just got to do it more. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year.
Yeah, I want to say, you don't got to, it's not something that you're focused on or tasked to do, but you can do it well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw a bullpen here and there to see if I still got it,
You got the shoulder.
Yeah, so, I mean, but it is fun when you're up there, that's for sure. Yeah.
Dude, that's a whole different mindset. But it is probably different because you're succeeding and you've always succeeded as a hitter, so I'm sure you can kind of break it down a little bit more. But dude, you had a 3 home run game. A bunch of multi-home run games, but that game against Cal, it seems like do you hate Cal or something? Because you just obliterate them I'm doing my due diligence on you, trying to get some more the in-depth stuff. And dude, just every time you played Cal, you wanted to just erupt for hits, homers, just abuse their pitchers with your bat. It was what's games like that like? And the 3 home run game versus Cal. I mean, what are you seeing beach balls when you get up there, or do you have familiarity with their pitchers, or do you just feel comfortable maybe wherever you're playing?
Yeah. I didn't even think about my freshman year against Cal. Did I go? I think I had a couple against them at home.
Dude, towards the middle of the end of the season, you started almost 62 games, I think, as a freshman, and out of 64 games, and I think towards the middle to the end when you saw Cal, you started just erupting every time, and then the 3 home run game. So
that was fun. I mean, when we went out there, it was weird. It was the first time Louisville ever played on the West Coast ever.
Wow.
Because Stanford and Cal just joined the ACC.
Right.
So we're okay, we played them at home, and then now we got to go out there. So we land in San Fran, and we, same practice that day. And these guys whack, whack, whack. I mean, these balls are flying out. What the? By the way, nothing is going to center field. Nothing. Just coast to coast. And I'm whack, whack. I'm what are these guys doing? I'm all right. So I hop in there for BP. And, I take my batting practice pretty seriously. I try to work opposite field, get the feels in.
Pepper it a little bit.
Yeah, and I hit this one ball, and I went, boom. And I was gosh, man. I didn't think I got – it went off the light post and right. Does the ball fly differently? It was so weird. And, I will say once we got into the games, that three-game series over the weekend, it was The pitchers were legit. A couple guys, they transferred at big SEC schools on that team. So, we're facing legit dudes, but the frequencies that they were throwing these pitches at, they were just doing it way too much. I picked up on some really good pitches. So, it was kind of like, you knew what you were getting when he was throwing it, which it felt good. And it was
confident at the plate.
Right.
Yeah, it's big, dude.
So it was flying out to right. I hit a couple on the football field, so that was fun. Yeah.
Dude, you put it like an East Coast kid from our area, like on a field like that in an area like that. Like I feel like it's almost like man-made for us to just be like, wow, this is what a blessing it is to even be here right now. Like and
right.
Hey, that's what kind of helps you and your mental state when you're at the plate, dude. Totally. Do you ever get into such like a rhythm to where, this last season was so good. I remember getting into a rhythm, you're seeing the ball well out of the quarterback's hand, you're finding the windows, easier to catch the ball. It's easier to think of, your next step after you do catch it. But in baseball, like whatever was coming in, it's a curveball. I'm going to be able to 1, 2, and then do you think that you have the mental leverage or the mental advantage every time you're at the plate? Like, are you at a level mentally where you're at that point, or is it, you know what, I'm dissecting every pitch and I'm processing mid at bat to where that's giving me the success, or what changed this year?
Yeah. I would be, when I grew up, my dad would be, I'd be on, an iPad playing games or something. Right. And the thing he would always tell me is watch the game. Just watch the Phils play. Just go look at, how Jimmy Rollins hits. Go look at Chase Utley. Go look at Ryan Howard if you want to emulate his swing and hit opposite field. And I'm like, okay. And I started really understanding the game, when guys are going to throw stuff, just different counts and just being a, student of the game. Right. And the thing that really stuck with me is when I went up, my dad was in the booth and they did a 3-man booth. It was T-Mac, my dad, and Mike Schmidt.
Oh.
And I came up there and I'm like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Mike Schmidt. Like, Mr. Schmidt, great meeting you. He's like, hey, I heard you cracked the slugger, man. And it was pretty cool. I was still at Malvern, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the best third baseman of all time. And I started talking to him about hitting, and I remember this clear as day. And it was one of Harper's first years here, and he hit this ball. It was off the old Toyota sign in right field. Right. Double decker. He hit it 113 off the bat with one hand. It's like this low and down, curveball. And I'm like, how does he do that? And he goes, he wasn't trying to hit a homer. He was just trying to hit it hard. And I'm like, it's really that simple? He goes, home runs are just happy accidents, dude. I'm like, are you serious? And that little conversation between my father, Mike Schmidt, and I will always remember that, because it's just simplifying the game, and I felt like I did that pretty well last season. And guys would come up to me and like, what are you thinking about at the plate? I'm like, dude, honestly, I'm just trying to hit the ball possibly as hard as I can without swinging as hard as I can. Right. And I just tried to simplify it, and thank God it paid off a little bit. I just got to do it again.
Listen, dude, you're a man of faith. All right, you put the work in, you're going to get what you get out, and
right.
And then you thank the Lord later, and that's the best part about the game, dude. It's a kid's game, yep. And you're having fun with it. It's I'm thinking of it now. I could even write this down. But being around Mike Schmidt, being around your dad who played in the league, and then seeing your dad cooking dinner. Or in a way where it's not baseball, it probably does. Or Mike Schmidt having that conversation with you, and he kind of puts it in a way to where it's like, dude, you just get a good swing out down the ball, and just like golf, it's not about how hard you swing, it's about just how nice that swing is, and it probably makes it a lot easier for you to connect that bridge between being, Tague Davis before the highly successful baseball career, around people that you see doing normal things on a daily basis that have been to that level.
Totally. Yeah. I just think about it I've played 2 years at Louisville. I played 70 games my freshman year, 56 games in my sophomore year.
Ooh. And
combined, that's not even a full season in the MLB. So I'm thinking to myself, if my father played 8 full seasons in the MLB plus 16 years professionally, just how much stuff he's really thought about and how many relationships he's met, how many just legends he got to learn from. He's on the booth right now. I've been watching his games with the Mariners and Phillies, and he spent all day with Ichiro, and that was his locker mate. It's just the things that I learned about from him that he learned from others. It's just I feel so prepared, from the game, obviously, and I think that's the coolest gift that I could possibly get baseball wise is having my dad teach me things through him. And I will say, like, when people ask me, like, how's it like having him as a father, and I'm like, he's not like down my throat about baseball, and it's like, dude, how was your day? What was the biggest fish you caught? Are you going hunting tonight? Like, he's the best dad I could ever ask for, because he's always a father first, baseball player second. And that it's just the coolest experience that I have as a kid, just to learn from him. And he taught me to be my own person. He doesn't want me to be Ben Davis's son who plays baseball. He wants me to be Tague Davis, and just so happens to be Ben Davis's son. And I just think it's the most heartwarming feeling to have a father like that, and make me feel so loved outside of the lines. And I just think that's the coolest thing. Yeah.
Man, that's you're gonna get me sad over here. Every time I see your dad, and you even like kind of connected, whether it's a story or like on if I'm watching TV, it's always him talking about you as his son and not baseball player. And he's always it's him getting emotional. And listen, I'm an emotional guy too. I'm with you. Yeah. So I watch Click, dude. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just crying. Like, he's sitting there, he's calling for his kid, he's laying there. That makes me cry. So like I'm right with you, and it's really cool that you have so many years ahead of you, and we're going to be able to. And I'm happy I'm getting you now, but this whole city at some point, like, it is going to want to know more about you, and it's cool that conversation stays within the fact that sure, baseball is a lot of this driving force, but at the same time, like, you're a great dude. And me and you met today. We talked a little bit yesterday, but I feel like I know you already for months. And like, it's nice that you were raised well, and you can tell humbled, and you understand your priorities are in place, and it's awesome. I love these say hunting and fishing too, because these priorities. I know that you get baseball over here, and then you get hunting and fishing, which is literally the only way I can find mental peace. Oh, dude. A sixer?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go. I got that one, and that's a Delaware County buck right there.
Buck? Where are you behind O'Hara? up in Benton?
That's right behind Romano's.
Yeah. Romano. But this is I haven't used it in probably a couple years, but this is the first reel I've ever caught a trout on when I was fly fishing. I was probably like 8th grade, dude, over at Bond Park in Drexel Hill. They had this nasty creek filled with like shopping carts and stuff, dude. It was filled with creek chubs. They had the horns coming out of their face, but I was just sitting there, staying home from school, just catching them, like put a little piece of bread. One or two more baseball questions, then we'll rapid fire and get it out here, because I know I got to get you out of here. The landscape of college sports, how different has that been with NIL versus what used to be? You've been only in NIL baseball, I guess, kind of. So like the last 2 years, been there. Are you meeting kids that like weren't NIL on your team, on your roster, and then it merged into that time, or like how has that changed anything? Because I'm not a big, I don't know much about it, and I don't really care to ask you much about it. Has that changed anything that you notice when you're playing?
The only thing I've seen it change is loyalty. I think that I think that's a shame.
Dude,
it definitely sucks, but you can't blame the guys. You can't blame them for, if one school is offering you $10,000 and the other school's offering you $200,000, like, you got to make like a life choice. And I don't blame anybody for that. Fortunately, with Louisville, it's just the place I want to be at. And bottom line, the grass ain't always greener. And it's just, you just got to know why you were successful at the place you were and been given an opportunity to go somewhere else. But you also got to stay loyal to the fact that these guys put their heart and soul into you for you to produce for them and you to produce for them. And, I feel like that comes with a price, and that price, will pay dividends down the road for you when you realize how grateful you should be. And, that's what I believe in. That's how I was raised. I feel like NIL is great, for people, and, if that's their way, but it's becoming, I just feel like it's just becoming the minor leagues, honestly. I don't want it to become the proving grounds for MLB. I don't. That's why, it's the proving grounds for the NFL and the NBA, and it's always has been. But now these guys are getting paid, and, it's just – you're telling me Kevin McGonigal needs to go to school, to go show him what he can do for the Tigers? Like, the things like that, like that steers me the wrong way because, some people know what they have and know how to prove it. But other people are just chasing money. And, when you stay home and stay to your roots, I feel like that's the way to go. If you really believe that's the spot you should be at and how you were raised. But, it's not so much a pressing issue now because of, it's the way the world is now. Bottom line is, if you have what you have, you stick with it. But if you think you need more, then you take that avenue. So I kind of indifferent about it. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm right with you because I'll never be in the position to really do that. And I know that kids are coming from different family situations and money means different stuff. But I feel like there's, all I picture in my mind is like just there's sharks out there from other schools, and they got guys that in the suits, they're trying to like get in there and sneak conversations in, and I feel like that these kids this is when they get their last opportunity to kind of play like fun baseball with
kids.
Exactly, and like I kind of hate when that gets in there, but also where we come from, I think there's a lot of we are very loyal people in the East Coast, like we're very you have your high school Malvern, like you're wearing that shirt right now, like that's what you're representing, and you're going to be screaming Malvern from the rooftops your whole life, and I don't never wanted to dip out from anything because what I was labeled with and partnered with meant so much to me personality wise and everything. But all right, hardest pitch for you to hit. What do you say? Like, are the splitters getting just ridiculous these days, or is it the changeup, like a better changeup, or just a good fastball?
Well, I think the best pitch a pitcher can obviously throw is a located fastball, but that's not happening a lot anymore. They're relying on secondaries a lot. I feel like I'd say a splitter. These things just go straight down. You see Duran's every night. It's 98 and just straight down, and you can't even see it.
Dude, it just falls out of the zone. Just falls out. The blues is bottom. I can't imagine seeing them at the level that you're hitting right now.
It's a strike until it gets to the dirt, and you can't see that when it's 100 mile an hour. You know what I mean? It's so, and you can't let the pitcher know it too when you're up there.
Can you sit on them? Like, unless they throw it higher on you, you're not going to be able to get a good bat on it.
Yeah. Like when I went over to Taiwan, my dad said to me, he goes, "Hey buddy, like hanging splitters go a long way." And I'm like, "They do. They just don't throw me."
You might get one of them a game, dude. Like a hanging splitter, dude.
Crazy. But yeah, when I faced the guys over there, the splitters were legit. Yeah.
Dude, I can't imagine that. I remember I saw the first splitter. It was always hard for me. Like the old-fashioned curveballs, like the Aaron Nola curveballs that start at your face, that kind of aren't really in the game anymore. Those used to get me so bad instead of the lower curveballs. And then, dude, once you see a splitter that falls out of the zone, I mean, if you throw it again, there's nothing I'm going to do with it. So
crazy.
Insane. Rapid fire. All right, let's have some fun here.
All right.
Gotta get you out of here. You gotta go get swole. You gotta do your things.
That's right.
Dude, you get $250. All right, I'm giving you $250 right now to go to Bass Pro Shops. All right, or whoever represents you. I don't know what you want brand wise, but where are you going? What are you getting? Only $250.
$250. Right now, I would go to anywhere in the world. First of all, I need something to eat before I go somewhere. So I'd spend $30 at Delco's, steaks and hoagies. I get Italian sweet with extra roll, and I throw some fried Oreos in there. So that'd probably be around $25, right?
Okay.
And then I'm taking my butt down to Delaware, going to Cabela's, maybe stock up on some arrows, maybe some ammo.
No tax, baby. Cool crossbow.
Yeah, probably that. And then I'm in need of a new pair of Carhartt overalls. I'm big need of those, and then some new soles for my work boots. So that's probably the $250 I'll be spending. Yeah.
All right, listen, hey, that's
Or some new Costas, Costa Del Mars.
yeah, Coach.
Nice.
He's out there.
We're ready to go.
I absolutely love it. Are you all right? You can fish. You can fish for one thing the rest of your life. Bass or trout?
Smallmouth bass.
Smallmouth bass is your thing.
Smallmouth bass, 100%.
Yeah. Are you a trout guy at all?
I am. I'm a big trout guy.
Eat 'em?
Oh yeah, we here and then. I don't like to eat the big ones. I don't. They got
big ones lose the flavor, man. I'm in the stocks.
Yeah, I remember. I ate my first trout in Darby Creek.
Yeah. Dude, that's.
I don't know why I'm still here right now.
Bro, I used to go to right next to Kev's house, like right near where Bagoggle lives, like in that Clifton Alden area. Like there's a Darby Creek in the back, and right heading from like I guess the Drexel Hill to like Clifton Springfield area. There's like a little bend that goes around. I used to just sit there and wait for stocks and stuff. And as a kid, dude, I was sitting there cutting them up in the water, bringing them home and eating them. I was like, bro, my mom had no idea because I was like the only one fishing and stuff. And I'm just like, what? Like, I'm trying to, whenever I see something happen to me, like weird, like if I'm like getting a gray hair or something like that, and I'm 26, 27 years old, like what the hell I think of the Darby Creek trout.
100%.
As to like, dude, that's what's wrong with me. Like that's probably why, I couldn't be an MLB player is because I ate too many Darby Creek trout.
Way too many.
That's what it was. To fill myself up. But already asked you about the about Delco or Philly, but when you are playing ball out there in Louisville and you're traveling, do you claim Philly or like is it Delco? Because not many people claim Delco, or is it Delco when you're in PA and then Philly when you leave PA?
Well said. Yeah, I just say I'm from Philly. And then when we get closer to Philadelphia, I always say, Delaware County, right on the border of Delaware County. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I gotta make sure, the Northeast is represented.
Exactly. You got something like that. Your dad, I'm a Delco guy, and I work at obviously 94 WIP part-time producer. So like, there's only a few Delco people there. So like, I'm in like the heart of the Upper Darby, Springfield area, Delco, and then your dad's the only other, and Rob Ellis, a few people that like will be outspoken about it. So I love getting that. Getting that from you. You can have a pro baseball career. Let's say at the end of it, you're all MLB team twice. I'll give you a 3-time All-Star, and then I'll give you 1 year as a home run leader. Okay, or you could have Steve Rinella's career. And listen, money wise, I'll say this: you'll be the same in both careers, money wise. So you're gonna have like the top hunting and fishing and media career ever, practically for Rinella and Meat Eater, or you can keep going with the baseball. Which one would you choose?
I gotta go baseball. I have to.
Yeah.
It's so much fun when you're out there, dude. God willing, if I finish my baseball career on a high, I'm buying a farm. And my dad and I are going to farm it. That's the one thing I want to do. I just want to go out, probably, maybe, middle Delaware. I work part-time down at Creebilly Farm. It's a big 300-acre, farm in the middle of Westchester.
Wow.
So we did, we bale hay, run straw everywhere and plant. Harvest. It's awesome. And there's a great pond to fish at. My little brother goes there probably.
Stock them bass in there.
Every second day. Yeah, they're like 8-pounders in there.
They're letting them grow, dude. That means there's a lot of little fish in there they're eating up. It's tough with those ponds, like to be able to manage them out to where like you get the big trout. You get the big bass, and like so whenever you get a good pond, dude, it's like I'm walking up on someone's grass asking like, dude, can I please fish your pond?
Well, you got to ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Exactly. That's what happens when I pull over on the side of the highway and try using those. Like,
Yeah.
you get stopped by a trooper, and you're gonna be like, "Dude, my bad, I didn't see a sign."
Yeah. That's what I tell my
"Dude,
little
you feel
bro.
bad for me." Yeah, I stopped on a highway to fish. Like,
It's unbelievable. Yeah, my little bro was telling me, he was like, "Ted, can we go fish this one pond?" I'm like, "Yeah." Dude, you're 12 years old. What are they gonna do? What's the worst that can happen? Tell you to get off? No, you go trespass that
take your fish.
little pond, and then you're like, "Oh, you can't fish it." Okay, bye. And then you come back to
Dude,
no.
12-year-old trying to fish. What are you getting mad at me? Baseball, say it was never a thing. Basketball, you played basketball. You were nice at basketball, right? Yeah, you were big body. It's funny because when I was Drexel Raiders, we would say that you versed Downingtown, the Whippets, you versed Kenny Unionville,
Oh, yeah.
Titans. You know, those kids they're big kids. They're corn fed. They're up there, and it's not even fun. You're 30 minutes away from us, but you obviously played basketball, big body, probably in the presence, could get your way to the basket, and then football. What'd you play in football?
I was a quarterback tight end.
Come on, and the
Oh, yeah.
dude, what?
Lefty.
A lefty, Mike Vick. My gosh. Which, if you could, basketball or football, baseball didn't work out. Which one would you? I guess which one did you enjoy, or which one would you, I guess, pursue more?
I would probably pursue football, honestly, but I just don't know if there's, even speaking on baseball too, I don't even know if there's a better feeling when it's a packed house on a Friday night in the court. You know, you get a monster rebound. Like, there's 2,000 people at Malvern versus Haverford, and it's like bonkers. Like, you can only see the floor.
Last question, and then I'll get you out of here. All right, so coming up, like, who have you modeled yourself after, and then who do you want to be to, you know, the younger kids, the younger generation? Because you're going to be an adult who, 4 or 5 years, you know, you're going to be at the point where you're mid to late 20s, and you're doing well in life as an adult. So people are going to be asking you a lot. Yeah.
On the field, you know, I try to be, you know, like Schwarber, hitting like Schwarber. Yeah, he's my favorite player to watch right now.
Okay.
Glove wise, you know, I just want to be an athletic first baseman, you know, who makes plays that not a lot of first basemen can make.
Right.
You know, Nick Kurtz is pretty good. You know, guys like that, you know, who have, you know, gone through the ACC and, you know,
Lancaster guy. There you go.
Yeah. But, you know, mentally and where I'm at as a baseball player and just playing the game the right way, I got to go my dad. You know, he's taught me everything. And, you know, that brings me to my next point, you know, when it's all said and done, you know, I just want to be that guy who, you know, trains in the off-season all-star, you know, signs a couple hats for some kids, you know, teaches them their swing. You know, down here at Louisville, I got a camp lined up, ready to go, and, you know, just trying to, you know, give it back to a little bit of the community, you know, raise some money. And, you know, they've given me a lot down here. You know, it's a family, you know, it's a new city that, you know, I felt love from. And I just think it's the coolest thing to give back to little kids, you know. I'll go to St. Matthews, you know, Little Leagues, and I'll literally just walk up there. It's pretty cool. You know, I'll throw my one of my jerseys on, and, you know, they're practicing, and I'll just go in there, hop into practice, and, you know, just teach them a little bit of stuff. And all the dads, you know, the dads love it. They think it's funny. You know, I'll just go field to field, you know, at the Little League, and, you know, just chop it up with them. And, you know, is 6'7" still cool? Like, you know, I speak fluent 12-year-old because my little
Dude,
bro.
that's great, man. It keeps you hip. That's what you need to say.
Yeah, it's great, man. So, you know, that's what I want to do. I just, you know, people have given me so much, and I just want to be grateful. And, you know, if I become successful one day in it, that'll be the reason why. So, got to give them back to them.
And if you could get your PR with a smallmouth or a PR with a buck, is that your PR right there, a 6-pointer, or are you, you know,
No,
hiding some guy in the basement?
I'm waiting on another mount. Last fall, I got a giant 9 dressed at 235 pounds. It was
wow.
One of my old teammates, you know, he has a farm in Indiana, so
I go over there too, man.
Oh, dude, I got connections everywhere. Don't worry.
They're gonna get better too, dude. You'll be up in Alaska soon.
Yeah, that mount's coming in about in 2 weeks, so that'll be on my wall. But this is probably my biggest PA deer. It was a good one. So, but I'd probably say I would say PR in a deer for sure. It's way more rewarding, you know.
Yeah. Other than the thrill of the reeling, yeah. Dude, you gotta send us a picture. I'll throw it on the Instagram or the Twitter of your buck when it comes in.
100%.
Amazing meeting you. I mean, I'm happy we got to do this deep dive about you and also talk baseball, but you just have this insane ability to hit baseballs and play baseball and obviously be a good dude too. But it's super cool, you know, getting to know you, and people are just going to absolutely love this, man. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you having me on, man.
What's Alex Coll?
Alex, is it? I tell you what, you could talk to him all day long.
Alex is a nice guy, very personable.
He's one of the best.
Big shout out to Alex Coll, another champ.
Alex Coll, making it possible to relax a little bit.
I'm just sitting in the studio trying to get to you.
I love your producer out.
He's phenomenal. I believe in the space god.